What if I told you one book could make people actually like you more, win you more opportunities, and instantly level up your influence? It's not some trendy hack. It's a timeless playbook used by presidents, CEOs, and top performers for nearly a century. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Yes, it's old, but trust me, the rules for dealing with humans haven't changed. This book is pure gold, a bestseller for decades for one simple reason. It works. If you want to supercharge your social skills, become way more influential, and boost your leadership game, this book is your roadmap. I'm breaking down the entire book right here. By the end of this video, you'll have the core strategies that have changed millions of lives, ready to level up your people skills. Let's begin. Part 1. Fundamental techniques in handling people. First up, the absolute basics of handling people. And the first key idea: stop the criticism. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Why? Because nobody likes it, and nobody thinks they're wrong anyway. People run on emotions, ego and pride, not pure logic. Pointing fingers just makes people defensive. They'll dig their heels in and find a million reasons why you're wrong, not them. Think about it. Even families of criminals often blame the system. Criticism crushes people's sense of importance, and they can hold on to that hurt forever. Consider this story. Famous pilot Bob Hoover nearly crashed when someone accidentally put the wrong fuel in his plane. He landed it like a hero, but the plane was wrecked. Back on the ground, he saw the mechanic who made the mistake. The guy was in tears, totally expecting to get ripped apart. Hoover lost an expensive plane, and everyone was in danger. But did Hoover yell or scold him? No. He actually told the mechanic he had faith in him and wanted that same guy to work on his plane the next day. Why? Hoover knew what science proved. Rewarding good behavior works way better than punishing bad. Criticism doesn't inspire change, it just makes people resentful. Anyone can complain. Real strength lies in understanding and forgiving. Okay, next big idea. Give honest, sincere appreciation. This isn't just nice, it's a fundamental human craving. We all want to feel valued, hear "good job," and get genuine compliments. Some say this very desire, the need to feel important, is what drives all human achievement. Think climbing mountains, writing epic novels, building huge companies. And you don't need fancy awards. Simple things work wonders. Thank you, I appreciate that. And this is key, keep it real. No fake flattery. People sniff that out instantly. Take a second. Stop thinking about yourself and find something genuinely good about the person in front of you. Make them feel seen and important. Think like the wise Ralph Waldo Emerson. Everyone you meet knows something you don't. Learn from them. Appreciate them. Or just use the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. So next time you see someone looking drained, maybe a cashier or waiter, brighten their day with a little genuine appreciation. Sprinkle these little sparks of appreciation around. You'll be amazed how people light up when you feed that hunger for recognition. Soon, you'll be the person everyone likes working with, and you'll be making a real positive difference. Another core principle is a game changer. Talk about what they want. Think about fishing. You wouldn't put your favorite cheesecake on the hook, would you? You use what the fish wants, a worm. So why treat people differently? Sure, you know what you want, but guess what? So does everyone else, and they care about their wants, not yours. The only way to get people on board is to talk about their interests and show them how they can get what they desire. Every single person is tuned into their own frequency. So, before you open your mouth, pause. Ask yourself, what's in it for them? Challenge yourself. Can you have a whole conversation without mentioning your own agenda? Focus relentlessly on helping the other person. The world is full of people looking out for number one. Be the rare person who genuinely tries to help others, and you'll have a massive advantage. Andrew Carnegie once made a bet he could get his non-responsive relatives to write back without asking. He just mentioned he was sending $5 in the letter, but forgot to include it. Replies came flooding in, asking where the money was. See? Appeal to their interest. Part 2. 6 ways to make people like you. First, get genuinely interested in other people. Think about a dog. Why do we love them? They're always so excited to see you, like you're the center of their universe. That's the magic. Showing real interest makes people feel important. We naturally gravitate towards those who admire us. Remember, people aren't thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves. You'll make friends way faster by being interested than by trying to be interesting. Ask about their lives, their dreams. Remember their struggles, and if you find something that could help, share it. Make an effort with everyone, not just the important people. And for those higher up, show genuine curiosity about their journey. They love sharing their wisdom. Secret number 2 for likability is smile. It's a universal sign that says, I like you, you make me happy, glad to see you. It's pure goodwill. There's this story about a grumpy New York stockbroker who decided, on Carnegie's advice, to just smile more. He started smiling at his wife, the doorman, the subway cashier, everyone at work. The result? People started smiling back. His home life got happier within 2 months than it had been the entire previous year. At work, problems smoothed out, and he actually made more money. He became richer and happier just by smiling. A smile is powerful. It creates an instant connection. Think about a baby's smile. Immediate warmth, right? Want people to like you instantly? Beam at them. Show them you're genuinely happy to see them, and they can't help but feel good seeing you too. Number 3, remember and use people's names. A person's name is, to them, the absolute sweetest and most important sound in any language. It's their identity, what makes them unique. Remembering someone's name shows you are actually listening and that you care. It breaks down barriers instantly. Now, I lock onto that name when I first hear it. Instead of just nice to meet you, I say, nice to meet you, Tom. Repeating it helps me remember and makes Tom feel connected. Next time you're at the gym or coffee shop, try it. Instead of, hi, how are you? Say, hi, Maria, how are you? You'll feel the difference. Using a name is a subtle compliment. Forgetting it feels like you just don't care enough. People spend fortunes trying to get their names remembered. Forgetting a key client's name, that is very bad. Carnegie even sealed a business deal by ensuring the merged company kept Mr. Pullman's name. If you struggle, focus when you first hear it. Ask for clarification if needed, repeat it during the chat, and maybe link it to something memorable later. 4th strategy, be a genuinely good listener. Encourage people to talk about themselves. Their life, their problems, even a headache, are more important to them than huge world events. Letting someone talk makes them feel valued and understood. People love sharing their stories, especially about challenges they've overcome. Ask about them. Better yet, mix this with appreciation. Wow, that story is fascinating. I wish I had your experience. Most people are just waiting for their turn to speak, barely hearing the other person. Real listening means giving your full, undivided attention. The payoff is huge. Carnegie once sat at a dinner party listening intently for hours to a botanist he'd never met. He barely said a word. Later, the botanist told the host Carnegie was a brilliant conversationalist, all because he was a great listener. Before this book, I admit, I was often just waiting to jump in with my topic or planning my reply instead of hearing them out. Don't make that mistake. 5th way to win friends. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. Back to the fishing idea. Use the bait they want. People light up when you discuss topics they care about. Do a little homework before meeting someone if you can. Find out what makes them tick. What are their big goals? Then frame your conversation around how you can help them get closer to those goals. Think about this YouTube channel. If I just said, subscribe because I need 15,000 subs, would you care? Probably not. But if I focus on giving you valuable info, helping you grow, and then suggest subscribing so you don't miss future useful videos, well, that connects with your likely interest in personal growth. See, it's about your benefit, not just my target. And number 6, make the other person feel important and mean it. Deep down, almost everyone feels they're good at something. Find ways to subtly acknowledge their importance, their skills, their value. And definitely avoid anything that makes someone feel small or dismissed. Offer genuine praise without expecting anything back, just to spread some positivity and lift them up. This really ties a lot of the previous points together. It's about genuinely valuing others. Part 3, 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking. Okay, next section. Time to talk about winning people to your way of thinking. Praise is great, but what happens when you disagree? This is where the real magic happens. First, forget your instinct to fight fire with fire. People hate being told they're wrong. They hate admitting they need to change their minds, even if you're technically right. They crave importance, and being corrected feels like an insult. Trying to be the smartest person in the room just makes people resent you. So the first principle here is mind-blowing. The only way to win an argument is to avoid it. Think about it. If you lose, you lose. If you win, You've bruised the other person's ego, made them resent you, and haven't really won them over anyway. 9 times out of 10, arguing just makes them cling tighter to their original view. So, just don't engage in pointless disputes. When you feel that defensive reaction bubbling up, pause. Control your temper. Really listen to what they're saying. Promise to consider their points, and actively look for common ground. That lowers their defenses right away. Next up, start friendly. Hostility just breeds more hostility. You can't force people to agree, but you can often lead them there gently. Think about coaxing an animal. Do you chase it, yelling, or offer a treat? Carnegie's famous line, "A drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall." Be the honey. One guy got his tough landlord to reconsider a rent hike by first genuinely appreciating the house and the landlord's management, then explaining he couldn't afford it. Another key idea. Respect their opinions. Never say you're wrong. This is a tough one, but crucial. Directly telling someone they're wrong is like declaring war on their ego. They'll defend their position to the death, even if it's flawed. We get weirdly attached to our beliefs once they're challenged. Carnegie tells a story about getting ripped off by an interior decorator. When a friend bluntly said he was overcharged, Carnegie got defensive. But when another friend came by and just admired the curtains, Carnegie himself admitted he felt he'd overpaid. The positive approach disarmed him. Telling someone you're wrong basically screams, "I'm smarter than you." It is instant relationship killer. What if you are actually wrong? Admit it emphatically. Carnegie got caught walking his dog off-leash twice by the same cop. The second time, before the cop could even speak, Carnegie launched into a full apology saying how wrong he was. What happened? The cop, instead of fining him, started defending the dog, saying it wasn't hurting anyone. Why? Admitting fault flips the script. The other person was ready to feel important by criticizing you. When you admit it first, the only way they can feel important now is by being generous and forgiving. So own your mistakes. It works better and feels surprisingly good. Next point. Let the other person do most of the talking. If someone disagrees with you, they're not really listening until they feel heard. Let them get it all out. Encourage them to express their ideas fully. We've all seen arguments where people just talk past each other, right? Resist that urge to interrupt. Let them empty their talk bottle. Once they feel fully heard, then they might be receptive to what you have to say. Interrupting just makes them start over. Here's another vital tactic. Honestly, try to see things from their point of view. This requires real effort. Try to imagine stepping into their shoes, with their background and experiences. You'd probably think the same way. Value their perspective as much as your own. This isn't just being nice, it's smart. Understanding their viewpoint helps you find their interests and frame your own ideas in a way that resonates with them. Think about a job interview. Instead of just focusing on your need for a job, consider the interviewer's problem. Finding the right person. Show how you solve their problem, and your problem gets solved too. Another important thing. Be sympathetic. Even if you think someone's reaction is totally off, understand that they feel completely justified. People crave sympathy. They want their feelings acknowledged. When you genuinely sympathize, I can see why you'd feel that way. They feel understood and become way more open to hearing your side. Try this approach. Start with questions that get a yes answer. Every time someone says no, they dig in their heels. So don't start with the points you disagree on. Find common ground first. Get them nodding along, saying yes to things you both agree on. Guide them toward your conclusion with questions, rather than just stating it. But be careful. Don't make it sound like a trap, like those cheesy sales tactics where they get you saying yes, 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 then spring the pitch. Keep it genuine, patient, and maybe ask questions where the answer isn't totally obvious. This next idea is brilliant. Let the other person feel the idea is their idea. People love their own ideas way more than yours. Coming up with a solution makes them feel smart and gives them a sense of ownership. Carnegie tells of negotiating with a tough cookie. When things stalled, he said, "Look, you know way more about this than I do. You're the expert. What do you think we should do?" The guy's whole attitude shifted. He became a mentor, offering solutions. Carnegie picked one of his ideas, and the guy was totally invested in making it work because it felt like his plan. Also, appeal to nobler motives. People usually have 2 reasons for doing something, the real reason and the one that sounds good. Focus on the one that sounds good. Appeal to their sense of fairness, integrity, honor. If someone's backing out of a deal, don't just accuse them. Say something like, "I always saw you as someone whose word was their bond." Give them a chance to live up to that higher image of themselves. Then, dramatize your ideas. Facts are boring. Attention is scarce. Make your point vivid, interesting, dramatic. Find a visual way to show the stakes. A salesman trying to sell cash registers saw a slow checkout line and told the owner he was losing money with every customer. Then dramatically threw pennies on the floor to illustrate the point. Think Steve Jobs introducing the iPod. Not 5 gigabytes of storage, but 1,000 songs in your pocket. That's drama. Use analogies. Compare things. Put a dollar value on it. This problem is costing your business a Mercedes-Benz every day. When I presented my internship results, instead of listing boring tasks, I started with, "My work saved the company $13,000. Every manager instantly paid attention. And finally, in this section, throw down a challenge. When nothing else works, spark some friendly competition. People have a deep desire to excel, to not be second best. If someone's hesitant about a tough task, you could subtly challenge them. Yes, it's a tough job. Not sure everyone's up for it. Takes real grit. Watch them rise to the occasion." Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. First rule. Always begin with praise and honest appreciation. It's like spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Hearing good things first makes criticism way easier to swallow, but keep it sincere and specific. Avoid that corporate sandwich nonsense. "You're great, but you're okay." If someone knows you're unhappy with their work, starting with genuine specific praise can be a powerful surprise that opens them up to feedback. Second, call attention to mistakes indirectly. Don't go for the direct attack. People usually know when they messed up. Pointing it out bluntly just builds walls. Try this. After sincere praise, use "and" instead of "but." For example, "You did great work, and if you create a checklist next time, your accuracy will be even better." Focus on improvement, not failure. Sometimes, just quietly doing the task correctly yourself and showing them can work too. Third, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing. This is huge for humility. Admitting your own similar screw-ups shows you understand the task is hard and makes their mistakes seem less like a personal failing. It encourages them to meet your standard. Never just say you're doing it wrong. Share a story. Fourth, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. This is empowering. Asking questions lets people arrive at the conclusion themselves. Remember, they like their ideas. It gives them control and makes them feel important. Plus, it sparks creativity. They might even come up with a better idea. Try questions like, "What do you think about this approach?" Or, "Could we explore other ways to do this?" Fifth, let the other person save face. Never humiliate someone, even if they're wrong. People crave importance. Bulldozing their pride creates lasting resentment. Find ways to let them maintain dignity. The book gives an example. An employee messed up, apologized, and promised a fix. Instead of criticizing, the manager thanked her, said errors happen on new projects, and expressed confidence in her, letting her keep her pride intact. Sixth, praise every single improvement, no matter how small. This is like fuel for progress. Remember that hunger for importance. Every bit of praise makes people want more. I saw this work miracles with a colleague everyone labeled lazy. Instead of complaining, I looked for any tiny positive thing he did and praised it sincerely, sometimes copying his manager. Within weeks, he transformed. Proactive, friendly, totally different guy, all because his small efforts were finally being noticed and appreciated. Seventh, give the person a great reputation to live up to. If you want someone to be more trustworthy, act as though they already are incredibly trustworthy. Tell them, or others, how much you value their integrity. Hearing that positive reputation makes people want to embody it. They'll work hard not to lose that title. Eighth, make the mistake seem easy to correct. Don't tell someone they're hopeless or lack talent. That kills all motivation. Instead, tell them they have the fundamentals. They just need a bit more practice. Frame the fix as simple, achievable steps. Encourage, don't discourage. A dance teacher might say to a clumsy student, "You've got great natural rhythm, you're a born dancer." That instantly boosts confidence. And finally, number 9, make the person happy about doing the thing you suggest. This links back to talking in their interests. Frame your suggestion so they see the clear benefit for them. If it benefits you too, Be upfront about the mutual win to build trust. Focus on making the action appealing from their perspective. And there you have it, the core wisdom from Dale Carnegie's timeless masterpiece, How to Win Friends and Influence People. These aren't just tips. They are fundamental principles for building better relationships, becoming more persuasive, and leading more effectively. Which principle resonated most with you? What's the first one you're going to try? Let me know down in the comments. I read every single one.